Thank you very much for joining me as we head into the weekend. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. I want to break down a few things for us. Our drought numbers, very impressive drought numbers, and I mean that in the bad sense of the term. We have been too dry in spots. I'll get into that, some of the dust that's coming up, and I want to break down the weekend forecast. Let me start with that, kind of the immediate thing ongoing, just a chance of a passing shower. No big areas of rain. St. Lucia, Dominica, we could see a shower, and I'll break down more forecast at the end of this video. Puerto Rico, 1 or 2. And by the way, Anguilla and Saint Martin, you may have felt some shaking very, very early this morning. There was a 4.5 earthquake to the north out there in the Atlantic. I keep an eye on everything kind of shaking out there. I keep an eye on the earthquakes for us as well. All right, passing shower chance. That would be it over toward Aruba over the next few days. Trinidad, mainly dry. Drier weather trying to sneak into Guyana and Suriname. Better chance of rain today. This is by our Saturday. Not as much. Hit or miss shower. Panama, Costa Rica. Still on the dry side. Haiti over toward Jamaica. Not a lot of action. Cayman Islands back through Cuba. Again, this covers our Saturday. Bahamas, limited rain chance. Then into Sunday, you see a little green on the map. Passing shower, Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda, back through, say, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis. We could see a shower too. Very limited chance. St. Vincent and the Grenadines down through Grenada. Passing shower, Yucatan of Mexico, Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, as we slide into the second half of the weekend. Now, let me break down some of the drought numbers. All you need to see on this map is the colors. And again, over the last few months, we have been exceptionally dry through parts of Cuba, in through Jamaica. So drier than typical, hence the problems, hence those water shortages, the water restrictions that we're dealing with in some spots, drier than usual, even into the western edge of Haiti. So watching anywhere from about Jacmel back to the west, it has been unusually dry. We've been a little bit wetter, not on the short term, but over the last few months. Belize, north coast of Honduras, and then Trinidad and Tobago, of course, coming off what we had late in the fall and into early in the winter. And again, we remember some of the historic floods we had, wetter than average Guyana and Suriname. So that's kind of where we've been standing the last few months. Now I want to look ahead as far as what we could expect, the precipitation outlook, the rain outlook for the rest of this month, March into April. Now, where you see generally this orange shading, that's where we're still going to be drier than average. And that really does include Jamaica. Jamaica will be about average, but overall we have been so dry. Cayman Islands, we're going to be drier than average up through Cuba. Watching the Bahamas, drier than average. A little bit wetter than average still. Guyana, Suriname, which plays into what we've had this month. Trinidad and Tobago, spotty showers around, but still not a lot. And again, about average as we get over toward Antigua, Barbuda, Anguilla. British U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, slightly above average where you see this blue shading as far as rain goes through April. April, things are going to start to pick up though overall. Now, let me switch to the dust as promised. Looking ahead, early next week, here's the Caribbean. Bahamas right through here. We have the United States, Canada here. This here is the dust. Now, it's still not the season where we get that really thick dust, but you can see early next week, Monday and Tuesday, some of this dust starts to edge in near Suriname, Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados, St. Lucia. We may get a little more dust early next week, and then this is late next week to get into the outlook. And some of that could kind of even creep to the north, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Dominica. We may see a touch more dust. Again, not the thick batches, but some dust around. Elsewhere, of course, where it's been so dry, for example, over toward Jamaica, kind of dusty skies as a whole, but the Saharan dust will be confined mainly to the Eastern Caribbean as we get into next week. So Jamaica for today approaching 90 degrees, 31 degrees Celsius. Look at that rain chance, just 10%, and that's it. British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, winds northeast at 20, breezy at times, passing shower, a 20% chance of a shower today and through the weekend. Dominica, hit or miss shower today through the weekend, sun and clouds, isolated shower, winds northeast at 32 kilometers an hour, and an isolated shower chance, Trinidad and Tobago. I showed you most of the rain today to the south, only a limited 10 to 20% chance of a shower throughout the day. Guyana today, now it's going to change throughout the weekend. 70% chance of rain today, which is Friday. The weekend, not as wet. Spotty showers, Guyana and Suriname, got you covered. Thank you so much, by the way, for sharing this channel. But the weekend, a little drier. Still some showers around, but today the elevated 70% chance of rain. All right, so where do we stand? What I'm looking at for us next. Again, water restrictions on on going in spots with no major rain chance. Spotty showers around. I'll keep an eye on those areas of dust as we get into next week. And then by April, which makes sense because that's usually when things pick up a little bit. We'll see that rain chance as a whole getting higher as we get closer to the hurricane season, which does start June 1st. And again, I'll continue to monitor any shaking out there, any earthquakes, anything significant, anything to pass along. I will do so. That is my promise to you. And also, this is your weather community. So leave the comments what's going on where you are, and that way we could all have a good feel of what's going on across the Caribbean, up through the Bahamas, and elsewhere back into the Gulf of Mexico. No matter where you are, it's great that you're building this weather community. We have folks from Canada, Europe, of course, across the United States, Mexico. Let us know what's going on where you are. It is great to have this weather community. So till I see you again, I hope you have a good and safe weekend.